Hello, entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs by helping you achieve your 3 year goal in 1 year that's tied to your 25-year vision and 5 year moonshot. I do it through weekly sprints and 90-day leaps. This is the Pioneers Academy podcast, and I'm on a mission to make a million pioneers. And I thought this podcast channel will help you achieve your 3 year goal and jump to the next level. I'm going to be showing lots of training and lots of great episodes. So join on this podcast and get all the training and resources you need to achieve your 3 year goal in 1 year and make yourself a pioneer. I wrote 13 books, Becoming a Pioneer, and you can get all those 13 books on Amazon. We're going to give away to every listener who listens on this podcast a $100 Amazon gift card so you can get all the books and learn how to become a pioneer.
Welcome back to the Pioneers Academy podcast, where we make pioneers out of entrepreneurs. I'm April, and today's episode is a breakthrough in ideal prospect character traits. And we're diving into this topic that will completely shift how you grow your business. Because understanding the deeper character traits of your ideal prospect isn't just about finding customers. It's about attracting the right customers who align with your mission and your energy. And joining us is someone who guides entrepreneurs through this clarity every day. The creator of the Pioneers book series and the One Year Breakthrough System, none other than Bimal Shah. Hi, Bimal.
Very much, April. Hi, April. How are you doing? Thank you for having me here. Really excited to talk on today's topic, one that a lot of people look over and then think it's just a simple thing, but you need to dive deeper. So really excited to dive deeper on, the ideal prospects and five-star prospects and their character traits that we need to hone in.
Thank you, Bimal, and I'm very much excited as you are to talk about this episode now. So, without further ado, Bimal, let's get into this episode. And Bimal, when you talk about an ideal prospect or a five-star prospect, what core traits define them, and why is this clarity so essential for scale?
So, just like, when you're looking for reviews, you look for a five-star review. You're not accepting, 1 star, 3 star, 2 star. You need a five-star review. So five-star means that that is, at the highest level. So you should have five-star prospects. So those five-star prospects, from a character trait, it's very, very important. So for example, many business owners, think about, okay, my ideal prospect is anyone who makes $100,000. That's very broad, because you are not narrowing down. But let's say you give this person a name, like my ideal prospect is Jerry, and Jerry is married. He lives in a nice home. He's, philanthropical. He takes the kids to he's into fitness. He takes kids for basketball, volleyball. Um, he loves to read books. Now, each one of these things, we live in a world of big data. So, for example, if that person defined that, Jerry, is into fitness, then we have the ability to access, people who have spent money on fitness over the last 2 to 5 years or have spent certain amount of money in fitness or part of membership clubs or this and that. So every little description that you give about your ideal prospect leads to data that can hone in your prospect, and you're only going after those people that matter you most, and you're not you know going broad, because marketing is all about being in the right market with the right message. So the first aspect of the right market is, making sure you're talking to your dream come true prospect, and that you see, and you just write a paragraph, like if you ask yourself a question, who is Jerry, and you had an assignment that you have to write a full page essay on Jerry, and you cannot stop or write big handwriting, and you have to completely keep going until you've completed the full page, 8.5 by 11. Then you take time to, write everything you can about that prospect. And the more you can write, the more details, you can get into demographics, psychographics, sociographics, and all these other details. And that's why those are five-star prospects.
That really helps paint a clear picture, Bimal.
Thank you.
It shows how knowing exactly who you're targeting will really makes growth more naturally instead of being forced. So, thank you about that. Now, let's talk about in what ways do psychographics like values, beliefs, fears, and aspirations matter even more than demographics when identifying an ideal client for high growth goals.
There's a saying which is very well known, and it's that people buy from you when you make them feel understood, not when you make them yourself understand. So they don't need to understand you. You need to make them feel that you understand them, and that is the key. And so that's why if you have knowledge about, let's say, their values, their belief, or they go to church, or they believe in, they're frugal, they watch their expenses, they're not spending, they value, they're good value oriented, so they buy things of value. So these are things that will also help you craft your message. So when you do your marketing, you design your marketing, you design your message around these values, around these beliefs, around these things that resonates with the prospect who's looking at it, and they look at it, okay, these people are speaking to me, they understand me, they resonate, and once they resonate, they tend to get attracted and dive deeper with you and buy products. And because they say, well, this is a company that is my type of company, or this is the company that has my type of products, that they provide great value, and this and that, and then that's how they resonate with you. So those are psychographics that are very, very important, and they can help you not just in deriving, and we can help you. So if you just write this full page essay and send it to us, or you can go on the show notes and the link today on the bit.ly/, 5-star prospects. You can send it to us, we'll build you that data of Jerry's, and then you can just market to those.
Really resonates, Bimal, because it reminds us that people make decisions based on emotion and belief. It's like when we understand what someone truly cares about, our messaging becomes more meaningful, not just their age or their job titles. So I would really agree on that. Thank you for that. And now you also emphasize social graphics, the communities people are part of, and the influencers they trust. How do these social factors guide where and how we market?
So these are very, very important. So for example, if you're trying to, and this is why, we stand out compared to any other database company, because any other database company will just take the basic demographics, name, age, income, address, zip code, and you can build a list of names and, people or phone numbers and email address. But you're talking to a very broad market, and in business, the narrower the niche, the bigger your check. So with demographics, psychographics, sociographics, lifestyle, beliefs, core values, you can actually find out, okay, these people like to attend these networks. These people like to attend to belong to these types of communities. So now we can go into data and say, okay, find people that are part of these communities, find people that are part of these networks, find people that are part of these organizations that they believe in. And now those sociographics play a very critical role. And if we go on social media, on LinkedIn, and with Sales Navigator and all those things, you have an option to search with some of these sociographic factors, because you can search what groups they belong to or what parts they belong to, and then you can build a list, and those are the people you want to target. So sociographics also play a very, very key role.
That makes a perfect sense, Bimal. Knowing where people spend their time will also help us show up in the right places instead of like trying to be everywhere. So, thank you. Now, let's talk about lifestyle. How does understanding a day in the life of your ideal prospect helps refine how we communicate and present our offers?
So, for example, if you know a person, let's say, has a routine of, I'm just giving hypothetical example, let's say exercising in the morning before they go to work, okay, or fitness, then you know that this person has certain routine that they follow every single day, and they like things that provide stability. They like things that help them. They're into self-improvement. So now if you are in a business that is all about self-improvement or this, and you're talking to that person in a way, and then you can connect the dots. So knowing their lifestyle, let's say they like to go to beautiful places with their family for dinner, so we can pull out data that, okay, how much they have spent on restaurants and eating outside, what kind of restaurants they have dined in the past. So once you know that data, that okay, this type of folks have spend X amount of dollars on these types of restaurants. Now you're talking to people who actually are, your type of prospect. So if you're a restaurant owner and you're seeking high profile people to come to your restaurant and you want to market, you should be talking to those people that go to, want to attract to your type of restaurant. But if your message goes to the person who is going to eat at, a fast food restaurant all the time, and you're sending, a gift card of $100, or, you're sending an invitation to come to your beautiful restaurants, which, you an average, dining bill could be, a couple $100, you're talking to the wrong people. So knowing the lifestyle and habits, plays a big, big role.
A practical way to see it, Bimal. Like when you understand someone's routine, you instantly know what matters most to them. And that's really right. Thank you. And now you've built tools like the ideal prospect builder and a marketing scorecard. How do these help entrepreneurs focus on their highest value opportunity?
I've always said the deeper you go into your prospect, the more you know about who your prospect is, the better you will and the more money you will make. So I've created this tool because sometimes you don't know what questions to ask yourself. So these tools are designed in a way where it asks the questions to your brain, and your brain then pops up the answers, and you can put those, and then we can build the list of your five-star prospects. Now, once we have this list, the marketing scorecard actually helps you build a five-star process. So the five-star process is, first is like you want to make sure that they're friendly and cooperative, meaning that, people don't talk to you, they won't talk to you in the future. Then they know what they want, they know when they want it, and they would like you to help them. So basically, these are like five stages that, you use in your communication structure and strategy. So this marketing scorecard and these tools help you build that and help you structure that.
Like how streamlined that makes the process and it turns a strategy into something clearer and easier to act on, Bimal. So thank you for sharing that tools with us. Now, for someone aiming to hit a 3-year goal in 1 year, how does having a clear ideal prospect profile combined with the right tools and funding resources create a more scalable path?
So, the business starts with who before what. So many a times you've seen business ideas that they build the greatest thing, they have the greatest idea, and then the business fails. So this is not what the customer wanted. Well, if you know your customer better, then you can build around that customer, right? So that is the key factor in growing. So what the way, when we build this 3-year goal, we do it into 4 leap system. I've shared in previous podcast episodes. The 4 leap system, the first leap is the foundational leap. The second leap is the superhero team leap. The third leap is the self-managing leap. And the fourth is rinse and repeat leap. Through these 4 leap system, we can actually achieve your 3-year goal in 1 year like clockwork, just like a routine. At the end of the fourth leap, we have built a rinse and repeat leap that you can use every 90 days and just go on that forever. So utilizing this ideal prospect builder and this marketing scorecard actually does the most important part of your business, which is the who before what, meaning that who you want to target and who do you want to sell to. And once you have clarity on that who, the rest becomes a lot easier.
That brings everything together, Bimal. Like clarity plus resources, really does make the growth journey feel more achievable. Thank you for that. And from your 13 book series, which books go deeper into understanding ideal prospects, strategy, and growth? And where can our listeners find them?
So, I give $100 Amazon gift card. So for folks who are listening to this podcast, grab that $100 Amazon gift card and get all those book series. The book is written like a series, so you can work like a workbook, and the book series actually becomes your book. So, when you get that workbook and you write things in it, and it becomes your book and walks you through step by step, week by week on how to achieve your 3-year goal in 1 year. And this whole process, the whole four leap system, it's all structured in there too as well, so you can achieve that. And so grab that $100 Amazon gift card. But books one is focused on vision, and books 1 through 5 help you build clarity on your goals and everything. So books 3, 6, and 9, they focus on the who, and they help you hone in on who you really want to. And there are parts of each that I talk in different books. So there are different parts that you can hone in and focus on. But grab the $100 Amazon gift card. It's the best way, and you can get the entire book series for free.
That's an awesome bonus, Bimal, and we will make sure that the links are easy to find in the show notes so everyone can dive deeper. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for today's episode. A very powerful reminder that true growth starts with understanding who your ideal prospects really are, how they think, what they value, and how they make decisions. Thank you so much, Bimal.
Thank you very much, April. Looking forward to our next episode, and make yourself a pioneer. Hello, pioneers and entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs by helping you achieve your 3-year goal in 1 year that is tied to your 25-year vision and 5-year moonshot. I do it through 90-day leaps and weekly sprints, and through my own proprietary 4 leap system. I've also written 13 books, the Becoming a Pioneer series. I've founded the Pioneers Academy, the Pioneers platform, and several resources that help you on several different platforms: the Thrive platform, Transform platform, and Transcend platform. So these are resources and tools that I built for you to double your business in a year and scale exponentially and become the only one in your business.